Hey everyone, welcome back. Today is day 2 of our survival journey, and we have a huge amount of work ahead of us. Before we start, if you missed the previous episode, make sure to go back and watch it. A lot happened, and it was one of the most intense days so far. But honestly, I have a feeling that today's adventure might be even crazier. Our main goal today is to build a proper animal pen and bring sheep inside. It sounds simple, but in this world even the easiest tasks can quickly turn into a real challenge. We'll need a lot of resources, plenty of wood, and enough materials to build a strong fence that can protect the animals from anything lurking outside. But before we get to work, I need to tell you something strange. Last night, I barely slept. I kept having weird dreams. In every dream, it felt like something... Good morning, Mayor. I understand that today I need to build the animal pen, but could you please tell me if there's anything else that needs to be done?
Yes, Traveler! That's correct! Your main task for today is to build a sheep pen. Once it's finished, you'll need to take care of the animals and make sure they're safe. This will become an important source of food and resources for you in the future. So, don't neglect it. But that's only the beginning. After that, you'll need to build additional pens for cows and pigs. The larger your farm becomes, the better your chances of surviving in this world. So, get to work! You have a lot to do. And the sooner you start, the sooner your settlement will begin to grow.
Was watching me from the forest. At one point, I could swear I heard knocking coming from outside the house. Slow, heavy knocks, then scratching sounds against the walls, as if something was walking around and trying to find a way inside. I don't know if it was just my imagination, or if I was simply exhausted after everything that happened yesterday. Maybe it was only a dream. At least, that's what I want to believe. Still, when I woke up this morning, the feeling didn't completely disappear. The forest looks the same as always, but somehow it feels different, quieter, almost too quiet. Anyway, standing around and worrying won't get anything done. I had a quick breakfast, drank some water, and now it's time to get to work. First, we need wood. A lot of wood. Without it, we won't be able to build the fence. And without the fence, there is no safe place for the sheep. So we're heading back into the forest to gather resources. Hopefully, everything goes according to plan. Although, if there's one thing I've learned in this world, it's that nothing ever goes according to plan. So grab a snack, sit back, and let's see if we can survive another day. After crafting a stone axe, cutting down trees became much easier. At least that's what I thought at first. A few minutes ago, I was sure that with a better tool I would be able to gather resources much faster. But honestly, I'm already exhausted. And that's strange because the day has only just begun. Every tree takes effort. Swing after swing after swing. The sound of the axe echoes through the forest. And for some reason that sound makes me nervous. Maybe it's because every time I stop chopping, everything becomes completely silent. Too silent. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but ever since I woke up this morning, I haven't been able to shake this strange feeling. The feeling that I'm not alone. A few seconds ago I heard something behind me. A scratching sound. I turned around immediately. For a moment I thought I saw movement between the trees. My heart nearly stopped, but when I looked closer, it was just a sheep. At least, I think it was just a sheep. The strange thing is that the sheep wasn't what scared me. It was the feeling that something was standing behind it, watching, waiting. I know it sounds ridiculous. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I'm overthinking everything after last night, but I can't get rid of this feeling. Every time I look toward the forest, it feels like something disappears behind the trees before I can see it clearly. And the worst part, I never actually see anyone. There's never proof, never footprints, never sounds that last long enough. Just a feeling that someone is nearby, someone who doesn't want to be seen. I keep telling myself that it's probably nothing. Maybe it's just the wind. Maybe it's an animal. Maybe I'm letting fear get into my head. But if that's true, then why does this place feel different today? Why does the forest seem darker? Why does every shadow look like it's moving? Why do I keep checking behind me every few seconds? I don't know, and honestly, I don't want to know. Right now, I just need to keep working. The faster I collect enough wood, the faster I can get back to the village. At least there are villagers there. At least there are lights. At least there are signs of life. Out here, it's just me, the trees, and whatever might be hiding between them. The sun is still up, but somehow the forest already feels like night. Every distant sound makes me jump. Every crack of a branch makes me turn around. Every shadow makes me wonder if something is standing there, watching me, following me, waiting for the right moment. I don't understand why. If someone really is out there, why are they watching me? Why don't they show themselves? What do they want? The questions keep spinning around in my head, and the more I think about them, the more nervous I become. Maybe the mayor was right. Maybe surviving out here is going to be much harder than I expected. Not because of hunger, not because of resources, but because of whatever is hiding in these woods. I need to finish collecting this wood. I need to get back to the village, and I need to do it before the sun goes down. Because if this forest already feels terrifying during the day, I don't even want to imagine what happens after dark. So let's keep moving. Let's gather the resources. Let's finish the pen. And hopefully, whatever is watching me stays in the forest. The more time I spend out here, the stranger everything feels. I keep telling myself that nothing is wrong. Everything looks normal. The trees are standing where they've always stood. The wind moves through the leaves exactly the same way it did yesterday. The animals are wandering around peacefully. Nothing seems out of place. And yet, something feels different. It's difficult to explain. It's not fear exactly. At least not the kind of fear you get when you see danger. It's more like a feeling sitting in the back of your mind. A feeling that refuses to leave. The kind of feeling that makes you look over your shoulder, even when you know nobody should be there. The kind of feeling that makes silence seem louder than noise. I don't know why I keep thinking about it. Maybe being alone out here is affecting me. Maybe spending so much time in the wilderness makes your imagination start creating things that aren't really there. That would make sense. At least I hope it would, because the alternative is something I don't even want to think about. Every now and then I stop working and look toward the forest. Not because I hear something, not because I see something, just because I feel like I should. As if some part of my brain is trying to warn me about something. But warn me about what? I have no idea, and that's what bothers me the most. If there was a threat, at least I would know what I'm dealing with. If there was a monster, I could prepare. If there was danger, I could defend myself. But how do you prepare for a feeling? How do you prepare for something you can't see? Sometimes I think I'm being ridiculous. Then a few minutes pass and that strange feeling returns. It's almost like the forest wants my attention, like it's trying to tell me something. Of course, that's impossible. Forests don't think. Forests don't watch people. Forests don't have secrets. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Still, I can't shake the thought. The longer I stay here, the more I notice little things. The way the shadows seem darker than they should be. The way certain parts of the woods feel empty, not quiet. Empty, as if something important is missing. Or maybe as if something is waiting for the right moment to appear. I know that sounds crazy. If I heard someone else saying this, I'd probably laugh. But standing here right now, it doesn't feel funny at all. It feels real. The weird thing is that I don't even know why I'm nervous. Nothing bad has happened. The entire day has been normal. I've been collecting resources, cutting down trees, preparing materials, doing exactly what I planned to do. Yet somehow I can't relax. Maybe it's because of those dreams last night. Maybe my mind is still stuck thinking about them. Dreams have a strange way of following you into the day. Even after you wake up, part of them stays with you. Maybe that's all this is. Maybe I'm just carrying those fears around with me. I hope so, because every hour that passes makes me more uncomfortable. The forest keeps looking the same, yet it somehow feels less familiar. Every path seems longer. Every shadow seems darker. Every moment of silence feels heavier. Sometimes I wonder how many people have walked through these woods before me. How many travelers? How many settlers? How many people trying to survive? And then I wonder how many of them left. How many stayed? How many simply disappeared into history without anyone knowing what happened to them? The more I think about questions like that, the more I realize how small I am out here. This forest existed long before I arrived, and it will probably remain here long after I'm gone. Maybe that's why it feels so intimidating. It reminds me that this isn't my world. I'm just passing through it. Maybe that's why I can't shake this feeling that I'm being watched. Not by a person, not by a creature, but by the world itself. Like the wilderness is judging whether I belong here, whether I'm strong enough to survive, whether I've earned my place. The thought sounds ridiculous, yet somehow it keeps coming back, again and again. No matter how much I try to focus on work, no matter how much I try to ignore it, the feeling remains. Maybe tomorrow everything will seem normal again. Maybe I'll laugh at myself for being so paranoid. Maybe this entire day will end up meaning nothing. I would honestly prefer that. But right now, standing here among these trees, I can't help feeling that something is different. Something I don't understand. Something I can't explain. And maybe that's what scares me most. Not knowing, because sometimes the unknown is far more frightening than any monster. At least a monster has a face. At least a monster has a name. But the unknown can become anything. And out here, surrounded by endless trees and endless silence, it's very easy to let your mind wander into dark places. So for now, I'm going to keep working, keep gathering resources, because sitting still and thinking too much won't help. Maybe once the pen is finished and I'm back in the village, this feeling will finally disappear. Maybe the lights, the villagers, and the sound of life will make everything feel normal again. At least I hope so, because if this feeling follows me into another night, I don't think I'll be getting much sleep. Well, guys, as you saw, we finally finished building the sheep pen. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't easy. Finding enough resources took a lot longer than I expected. Cutting down trees, gathering materials, building the fence, and then somehow convincing the sheep to follow me back here. It was a lot of work, but in the end, we did it. Now we have our very own sheep pen, and honestly, I think that's a huge step forward. The mayor gave us a task, and today we completed it. Our settlement is slowly growing, and little by little we're becoming more prepared for whatever this world decides to throw at us next. But if I'm being honest, the entire day felt strange. Maybe it was just my imagination. Maybe I was simply tired. Or maybe there really was something out there in the forest. I don't know. What I do know is that several times today I had the feeling that I wasn't alone, and I still can't explain why. So here's what I want you to do. If you noticed anything unusual during this video, anything strange in the background, any movement, any shadow, or anything that looked mysterious, make sure to tell me in the comments. Maybe I missed something. Maybe you saw something that I didn't. Because if there really is something watching from the forest, sooner or later, we're going to find out. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is only the beginning. To be continued.